Stress is a necessary ingredient of life. Life will be boring if there is no stress. Look back and I am sure you will mostly remember stuff when you were in difficult, stressful situations. Do you even remember the times when life was just a routine? It is imperative though the stress be managed effectively. I wrote this book to help you in your journey from being distressed to de-stressed by making you understand the sources of stress and how to address them. Hello there, I am Vikas Kakwani, the author of the book. You can watch a short video about the book by clicking on the link provided above, and if you want to read the book, I have also provided the Amazon link as well. While we go through the black swan event of coronavirus pandemic, this is what the renowned author of the book, The Black Swan, Nassim Nicholas Taleb, had to say. He said, "The three most harmful addictions are heroin, carbohydrates, and monthly salary." Well, I'd like to add the fourth addiction to it, stress. Yes, we are all addicted to stress, whether we like it or not. To solve any given problem, the first thing we need to know is what exactly is causing it. 90% of the problem is solved when you know what is causing it. Let me tell you a story. Once an engineer was called to repair a large machine in a factory. After careful examination, he pointed out a screw that needed to be replaced. Once done and machine started working, he asked for 1 lakh rupees. When questioned how can he charge so much for just replacing one screw, he calmly replied, "The charge for the screw is 100 rupees. Rest is to identify which screw." What happens to a wound if it is left unattended for long? You're right, it gets worse. Could lead to infection, amputation, or even death. That's exactly what worries and anxieties do to your mental and physical health. If you do not attend to them the moment they appear, it would have a devastating effect on your well-being. The 5 broad sources of stress are self, family, work, society, and environment in general. Needless to say, these days, the most significant cause of our stress is environmental, so we'll talk about that in this module. Generally, however, other causes are predominant. To appraise yourself about those, you can read the book. The biggest cause of stress is that we worry too much. In reality, you can either do something about a problem or you can't. So you do it in case of the former or hope in case of latter. But let me assure you, worrying will not help in any way whatsoever. We think we are moving the world. If I don't go to office today or do not check the emails at midnight, I would think the company would collapse. It never happens though. Coronavirus has made it amply clear. All that was important and critical till a few days back doesn't even exist anymore. All the tasks that we wanted to get completed as of yesterday are totally irrelevant as we scamper for masks, hand sanitizers, and food. Always remember this. You are not Atlas and you're not carrying the world on your shoulders. So now, let us look at some simple ways to manage the stress caused by this unprecedented event of a lifetime. Know your enemy. To defeat the enemy, you need to know it well. Find out exactly what is coronavirus and what can you do to keep it at bay and eventually defeat. It is important though that you get your information from genuine sources and don't believe in everything that you read or listen. In fact, your first reaction should be to disbelieve everything that you come across unless you verify it from legitimate sources. I have come across absurd, incorrect, and instigating forwards sent by highly educated people, so don't just brush this aside thinking that you are above board. Stay healthy. This is the time when you need to be at the best of your health, both physically and mentally. Physically, because you want your body to be strong and immune to the virus, which is lurking in the shadows looking for opportunity to pounce at you. Also, you need to be mentally healthy to ward off the stress that this pandemic has created. You are worried about whether the world will come to an end, the economic recession this would lead to, depleting of wealth due to stock market crash, possible loss of job, financial strain leading to inability to pay EMIs, postponement of weddings, impact on your children's education, just to name a few. Since your movement is restricted, each day do 30 minutes of yoga for physical fitness and 15 to 20 minutes of meditation for mental relaxation. Don't discuss coronavirus throughout the day. Thanks or no thanks to WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, etc., you receive continuous barrage of messages, news, updates, opinions, and analysis about what you should or should not be doing or how the world is ending. Continuous exposure to this will have the same effect on your mind just like any other constant exposure, for example of sunlight or laser, will have on your body. Mute the group notifications and go through the messages 2-3 times in a day. Read e-paper for maximum 30 minutes and watch TV news once, also for about 30 minutes. Include this as part of your routine, as I mentioned earlier, and stick to it. Since we are restricted at homes, we are calling our friends and family more than earlier and obviously end up discussing coronavirus. Limit such calls to 1 or 2 in a day and try to talk other stuff. Live in today. None of us know what will happen tomorrow. When will the lockdown end? Will the supply of essentials continue as normal? What will happen to the economy? When will we find a cure for the virus? Will we be able to go back to the normal life that we are used to? Will there be more such viruses popping up in the future? Let me tell you the right answer for all these questions. We don't know. No one knows. And that includes scientists, doctors, leaders, politicians, or even astrologers and tarot card readers. No one. So, in this scenario, the best thing you can do is to live in today. Enjoy your present because that is the only thing you can influence. Engage in a hobby. A hobby is something that no one forces you to do. When you were a child, you got attracted to something purely by nature, led by your genetic code. During the lockdown, pick up any of the indoor hobbies that you can pursue. Painting, calligraphy, listening to music, playing musical instruments, reading, writing, knitting, whatever. Or pull out your coins, stamps, comics collection, or old family photo albums. It doesn't really matter what you do. The whole idea is to do what you really like, which would mitigate the effect of stress you're going through. If you don't like to read, for example, then listen to audiobooks. Since hobbies are something that truly interests you, time will just fly away. Being engrossed with a hobby helps in calming the nerves, much like what alcohol or any other intoxicating substance does. Pursue a hobby and also be saved from pouring a drink every day. Spend quality time with family. The lockdown has given you the time that you never had, the time with your family. For all you know, in your lifetime, you might not get this chance again. And we pray that we don't. So why not make the most out of it? Use this time to mend the relationships with your parents, spouse, or children. Talk to each other and discuss stuff that had been pending for long. Do things together that will help in cementing the bond for the times to come. For example, do household chores together, play games, sing songs, watch TV, movies. Don't just sit in separate corners glued to your respective phones. Remember, the best thing about time is that it passes, whether good or bad. This time too shall pass. So that's it. Don't think too much and relax. The world is not going to end. Read the book and de-stress today. That's what you need the most today. Enjoy and stay safe.